Hey. Hey, there we go. There we go. Look at that. We're alive. We're here. How we doing? What is up,
Hey.
fam? Hello, we are live. Let us know how our audio is out there in streaming land. Hello, friends, foes, and familiars. I am Dragons and Cats, and I am here today with some wonderful people to bring you some wholesome, incredible content and some Dungeons and Dragons. Possibly a little bit of shenanigans here and there, depending on what happens tonight. Anyway, we are also joining the Generosity Brigade and massive shout out right now to Viridian Knight for the 26 months on the sub streak. Subs. We'll get to the subs. Let's do the introduction. I distracted myself. So, we are currently doing being a part of the generosity stream, raising money and raising some money and some awareness for the Australian bushfires that have been going on. If you do command charity, it will bring you up a link that sends you directly to the generosity charity donation page that goes straight to the Fire and Rescue of New South Wales and the CFA of Victoria. If you also just add into a little comment, Dragons and Cats, they'll be able to tell us that you were part of our stream, you saw it, donated through us, and they'll give you a shout out through their Discord. Right? Struth. And yeah, that's what we get for being back. Porn stashes. But anyway, our wonderful donations will also give our players a bit of a outback boon, where you can, once you've donated, just type in command bushfire, and then again it will give you a little instruction. Thank you so much. It will thank you as well. It will then, if you then type in this command, it will then bring up the outback boon that you can give to our whole cast of players. Anyway,
what does the outback do?
well, it gives you an outback boon.
Okay.
We'll find on out. Something nice might happen. All right. Well, looks like we got our first one of the night for Neon Hein. Thank you so much, you kind person. Thank you. And also, as a side note, Neon Hein, that's son. Change the name.
Yeah, but
Right, okay.
Yeah.
she didn't donate. She just pressed it.
But she is, though.
She is now.
Anyway. Just going over to subs and bits. Subs and bits come towards the channel to helping us increase the quality of the stream and to be truly be able to get some new headsets if needed, new microphones for the players or casts if someone's getting a little bit down, if anyone needs anything. But usually we don't get enough subs, so usually it does come through. Anyway, moving on back to the sub. Our players all get a luck die for the sub. We will then move on to a recap, right meow, as we have a bit to go through tonight for our recap. So, previously on Dragon's Brew D&D, our party had led the underground operation to pass through the mines south of Secomba to then rescue a collection of dwarven clan. After rescuing them, they headed and snuck into the fortified city that was captured by the cult of the Dragon's Iron Circle Legion. They managed to sneak and then fight their way through as their army that they have sided with. began their assault on the western side of... no, it doesn't matter about team. You don't have to pick a team either. Just Neon. Don't have to pick a team. It's just in the comment... Just in the comment section below, just let them know. Tick the comment box and leave a comment in there. But regardless, even if you do or don't, much appreciated. So, like I was saying, our party then made their way to the River Hall, which was already Sekomba's house of governance, led by Zebenya Drat, an Eldritch Knight, in which the Lich Valindra Shadowmantle was holding, had fortified and was holding her phylactery there. She was also leading the forces of Sekomba. A party fought our way through there and, in a harsh, intense battle, managed to capture the phylactery and defeat both Valindra and the Death Knight by her side near Blade Lord. Unfortunately, Belvin Serpenthelm fell during this encounter, as his sword, the Black Razor, corrupted him, appearing in his hands again and killing the general of the Collective Alliance forces. A lot of faction leaders lost confidence in the party after the fact of the battle. But Belvin was managed to be revived mid-fight as Helm had intervened. The guilt was a bit too much for Belvin to bear, though, as after the fight, as McCaff blasted near into flames and burnt him alive, the party was able to rest, and that is when Belvin took his leave. The other section of that recap. Tired and strained, they travelled back to Riverguard. Lord Zebenya is now in tow with them. Making himself at home, he introduced you to his apprentice and agent of the Lord's Alliance and your new liaison for the war effort to manage your affairs and your choices, Amalia. Whoop whoop! Massive shout out to Neonheim for the $30 donation. Thank you so much. So now you can do Command Bushfire D8 and that will give you a little bit of fun.
No, don't bonus.
No. During their resting period at Riverguard, McCaff was contacted by an old friend and colleague from the Arcane Brotherhood, Otar, a half-orc Eldritch Knight of the Arcane Brotherhood. And she let McCaff know that the Arcane Brotherhood had seen and heard of McCaff's deeds. And they needed to basically had their hand forced to finally make a move and make a decision on whether they're going to involve themselves in choosing a side or stay out of it altogether. As McCaff's actions reflect her house, who she is the missing leader of House Crimson, as well as had also neglected to report her return from the Sea of Moving Ice. So, Misty Marsupial, as an action, each member of our party can cast a Misty Step spell without using a spell slot or any component at any time, but you can only do it once.
And it just costs an action?
Just costs an action. So, with that long-ass recap done and out of the way, let's dive on into tonight's episode of Dragon's Brew D&D. Don't have a cool intro to play, but yeah. Yeah, I might move
We should
that.
do an intro where you just sit there and do you got a clipboard and shit, and then you look at someone and do the freeze frame laugh.
I thought about it.
Alright, Rob,
Doing
you're
a
gonna,
lab
have to,
coat and shit.
you're gonna have to direct something like that then.
Yeah, Rob,
Get
you
things
said it.
going.
You said it. You're doing it.
Next time you're up here.
All right. So tonight. So you've had 5 days to prepare for this, considering you were basically on lockdown. Through Amali, you have been approved this leave to achieve this, in hopes of bringing another force to the party. Where is it? As you teleport and reel from the experience, you stand atop a massive platform. You see that there are four pillars on the corners of this large, astoundingly large platform, high up in the sky. You can feel the chill of the wind swirling around you and the roar of it. Down below, the city of Luskin. The city of sails often conjures a romantic image of a magnificent port metropolis. Majestic merchants, galleons with bright sails, and dashing swashbucklers who greet their enemies with a playful wink and a tip of the hat. In reality, Luskin is anything but that. It's a dirty dive with filthy streets, squat buildings, ramshackle docks, and creaky old longships. You see crass pirates thinly disguised as sea traders from even from this height. You see the rising of much higher above the buildings is the fog, and you can smell a strange earthy scent emanating from around you. You stand atop the host tower of the Arcane, home of the League of some greedy and power-hungry mages of the Arcane Brotherhood. You see to the south, southeast, and southwest of you these ghastly spires and branches of multiple thinner spires that jut out like a tree rising up, their branches trying to be a tree, but it's more of an illusion of sorts. At a closer look, it is a clawed hand branching out and bursting to the sky. Across the river that separates the town, you see the wind-battered stone walls of the Margrave Academy, where aspiring apprentices, nobles and prodigies all complete their studies of magical theory, political science, biology, history, and archaeology, at a high cost to be accepted into the host tower where the true teachings of magic are conducted. McAff, you are home atop the crimson spire on the platform. At the most northern corner, you know that there is a platform that then drops down to the top floor, that then takes you down to the Regal Hall, mostly past your dorm.
Before she moves, she'll sort of turn around to the party and just go, "Welcome to home for me. Actually, welcome to," and she'll point down because she's on top of the tower. "Welcome to home. I assume McAff would have asked previously if anyone had been here."
You can definitely ask, but
Before, like, I assume in the 5 days she would have been like, has anyone ever been? So,
Yes.
First time.
okay.
Negative.
That's the thing. Has Casimir been?
I don't think he has. He's pondering.
He's making no sound.
Making the sound.
Sorry, I was muted. No, I haven't been here.
Okay. Cool.
Shit. But I'm excited to be here. Because there's so much magic.
Just so much magic. Okay, so if anyone, like we said, if anyone approaches you, you are with House Crimson and you are with McCaff. So people might look at you a bit weirdly, which kind of looks more towards Ikram, who looks nothing like a mage.
I do like the looking like, who's she looking at?
I'm looking at Ikram. His branches, and I'm just like... So just in case anyone does approach you, just mention you are with House Crimson. And she'll lead them to... I guess we'll go... I don't know, did Oda or anyone mention a specific meeting place, or were they just like, come home?
Essentially just come home. So to you that has always meant once you come back, they will come to you.
Okay.
It's basically a hurry up and wait situation. So get there, then wait.
Okay. There's probably like a big common room or something.
Yes, the Regal Commons.
Cool. We're going there.
So, as you take your friends and descend
Can
and...
I have a look at the tree in the photo? Like, is it naturally grown like that, or is it actually like magic? Or...
Make a nature check.
I'm curious.
The spinning tree.
That tree's real nice.
Tree's real nice.
Shock and roll.
Is it natural?
It
It's
is.
a naturally nice. Or
For the first roll of the new year, it is...
A nice tree.
It's... Wow! You are overwhelmed. Yeah. Could be plastic, could be
I
wood.
like that tree. That's a nice.
The strangest thing you notice about it is that the platform and tower that you're currently in is basically crimson red.
Right.
It's not oak. It's once you go in as well.
Is the
The
building kind of wrapped around the tree, or is the tree growing like from the top of the thing, or is
So
it like
the
the
cr-
building's carved from the tree?
so the tree is essentially grown out from the ground in a bit of a hexagon. So it's kind of shaped like a tree, but it's not shaped like a tree. So it goes up like a tower, but then limbs and branches start to come out of it and then stem out. Most of them jutting up, just like spires out of a tree like that. Whereas there's one section where you're on right now that's that's pretty much up the top that then stems out and goes up and ends in a large platform. So
Right.
it's basically, in a sense, matter is being changed and distorted, and
It's like
this
nature, but magic. But
magically altered nature. Whereas you think it'd be similar to to Casimir using fabricate on stone,
yeah.
and your efforts with him casting wall of stone to create the walls around Riverguard.
How old
It's red.
do I reckon this tree is? Another nature, or
On an 8,
oh, it's okay.
on an 8, I'd say that you have no
I'll give you
idea.
an idea of how long this town, how old this town is as well.
You think, basically from like you being a druid, you know that a tree this tall, magically charged, good couple of centuries, long time.
Okay. I'll shut up now. Continue with your normal D&D things.
All right. As McAff directs you down from the top floor, basically, taking you down these crimson red floors.
Oh, one thing to mention that's probably pretty significant is that McCaff looks different at this point. Which was kind of a thing we were supposed to have mentioned, but we didn't. Over the last 5 days, McCaff has actually lost a lot of her scales. And her eyes have gone back to white.
Yeah.
Over the past 5 days, you yes, these
Is
scales.
this like a
I'm just
shedding
gonna say-
thing, or
If Casimir noticed that, he would have been observing her closely, because that's like an interesting magical phenomena.
So, Casimir, make me a let's go Arcana check.
is she like a snake, like shedding her skin?
Shedding her skin.
17.
Okay, so on a 17, you realize that there is she hasn't been spending as much time with Avi. She hasn't been flying as much within the
Yeah,
last
her wings are gone.
within the last
Doesn't
3
have a-
days. Within the last 3 days, pretty much her wings receded back into her body. Her horns have become a lot more tamer since the first time you met her as well. And a lot of her scales have returned to that more freckle style that they were in the past, basically receding back in.
So she's returned to sort of her red skin color.
Yes.
Yeah. As opposed to like the white scales.
Yes.
Yeah.
The draconic rage and features that you saw, her brandish from Orafator's lair to the streets of Sekomba, that is all pretty much been subsided, and it's been taken back. And she's
Can I like hypothesize the cause of like her reverting? Is it because of like she's distanced from Arathtor now, or something like that?
you can make me a insight check. Well, how are you going to hypothesize? Yeah, make me an insight check.
I look at the facts that I know, and then I come up with a conclusion.
What season are we in?
Yeah.
Is it like a
Summer.
seasonal thing?
Yeah, is she shedding her coat?
Oh, it's coming into
It
summer
is
now.
actually it is actually coming into summer.
There we go. Problem
Yeah.
solved. Detective Ikram on the job.
Now I'm imagining like Casimir and Ikram discussing.
We're kind of like
Ikram's
We're
wagering.
just in the lab with our like giant like spectacles on, like yes.
Lizard.
Lizard.
That's the only.
Okay.
Have you done an insight check?
I lost the word. No, I haven't. Would it be insight or investigation? Like, it's a magical effect, right?
All right. Do an investigation.
Lizard.
Okay.
Do an investigation.
13 has told me lizard.
27 tells me it's also a lizard.
Oh,
Right, on a 27, you do realize ever since she said that this letter has come, she has been a lot more. She's been very, very timid and docile, keeping to herself a lot more. Especially, in fact, with Belvagon, she's seemed a little lost on what to do. But you do think it might be magical. It's more than likely something magical in nature. You're not too sure if it's a connection between a Rathator or a Vitreous, or if it's something with her in her own draconic form. Though you can pinpoint it down to something to do with the Brotherhood. Basically, within that last 5 days since she informed you of that, the receding draconic power began to decline. So there is a connection there.
Okay. Interesting. I'll write that down.
On a 13 nature, Rob, the tea that McCaff has been brewing up recently as she sits alone, it smells incredibly good. It smells...
Is it like a herbal tea?
Yeah, it's like honey and elderflower.
Oh.
Elderflower, is it? Was it?
Elderflower, yeah, it's like that.
yes.
I think they put that in like a McDonald's drink actually.
Yeah, elderflower cordial is also very popular.
Okay, so with that, the McCaff takes you down these wide tubular halls in which that they are lined. They are of the burgundy color. The walls basically all burgundy, with a navy and dark purple decor lining the walls as you head on down most of these spirals and eventually get to the main tower branch of the Crimson Spire. And there, at the bottom of the stairs of the regal hall, you can smell this rosewood fragrance as these oil lamps and tantalize your senses, creating a sensation of home and belonging. This grand staircase leads to the upper spirals that you've come down, and at its intersection, at its first landing, a blood-red statue of a tiefling with ox horns and long dark hair is in a decorative alcove. It is of incredible similarity to McCaff. See that there is a small plaque on it as well. It reads, McCaff the Red.
The red. Not crimson?
Not crimson. You then hear a, "You've returned!" And rushing up to McCaff and embracing her in a heavy hug, the half-orc Otar, who wears a magically shimmering half-plate and is adorned in similar colours to that surrounds you. This must have been them. This must be them. And this half-orc bows. "I am the retainer of House Crimson, Otar Argon. It is wonderful to meet you all, Court of Riverguard."
Yes, this is my retainer, and of course I came home, Ota. I was summoned, and if I didn't come home, well, worse things would be in store.
Yes, worse things. You see that there, Ikram, definitely, you see that there is a intense look of worry in her eyes as she reels back from McCaff a little bit, but then brightens up. Anyway, it's wonderful to meet you. Shall we go to McCaff's dorm? There is... you see, she turns and puts her fingers to her head, closes her eyes. "I've informed Kishan of your arrival, and I'm sure you'll want to get the meeting done underway as the other guests have already arrived."
I'm surprised he couldn't just sense my presence. He probably already has.
I'll be surprised if he hasn't. Eyes grow strong here. Anyway, come back. We need to take you to your room. We can get your guests also comfortable as well. You can also prepare for the meeting before you. Also, we can't have you... We can't... She seems reluctant to say this as well. Dressed in this garb. We have to get you proper.
Fine. Fine.
Is she just looking at her, or is they looking at all of us?
Just looking at McCaff for that last sentence.
Okay.
She then turns to you and goes, "Of course, if you would like to have any fancy... Let me reiterate that phrase, because it's been a while since I've DM'd and talked proper. Of course, you are more than welcome to the wardrobes of the Crimson Spire, if you feel the need to change your attire as well. I see you're... Well, you're a little earthy, and Madam Knight, your colours do reflect that of the of the Sky Spire, so it might be misconstrued. Anyway.
In simple speak, we have a magical wardrobe in this tower that you can have any clothes that you want.
If you need me to change, then I'll change.
I'm comfortable.
I can handle wearing the tile.
It is fine. We'll just get you something, either a small pin or something, a sash to associate you with House Crimson. For essentially, you should be wearing red here so that people know that you're with me.
Casimir's just gonna wave up his like robe and change his clothes to red.
You see over to the side that there is a young human mage who then looks up, gives a nod, and goes back to their book.
Item.
What do you create?
Create
I
a
don't know, I'll
teapot.
create bucket of red paint.
Ikram, it might be appropriate. House Crimson is also associated with roses.
Oh, I could do that. We're gonna have like a
Little rose
Rose.
loincloth.
rose like
Just watch the thorns.
Ikram, if you wouldn't mind just creating me just one rose, that'll do me. Which
From-
would be Druid craft if you had
Yeah.
that.
He does have
no,
it.
sorry, I was doing the
Yeah.
I'm a magician.
The magician trick, where it's just like,
And she would just grab it, take just the head of it, and just put it in her hair.
And there's like a hanky connected to it, and then another one, and another one.
Oh no! And then a rabbit. Oh no! Put it back in.
as you are then escorted back up the stairs, to be honest, past the statue of Macath the Red. The large oxen horns are nearly white at the tip, with the stark black hair behind her. The eyes are just pure red. You were led up to a old traditional study. It's lined with burgundy, again, more of a traditional room with with stone flooring and stone-like walls, with one window that looks out across a raised section. The rest of it is in a navy, burgundy, and dark purple decor on this bottom floor, as essentially the entire room around you is a study. You see a spiral staircase that then leads up to a personal quarters that overlooks the space, which is spotless. The entire place is immaculately tidy. You see, as you enter, there is a bookshelf and a registry. Basically, people will have to come in, sign their name, and sign out from a very delicate phoenix quill that's kind of lit in a blaze as it stirs and keeps the pot of ink warm.
So, are we in the study or the personal quarters?
You're in the lower level of your personal quarters, which is the study.
Okay.
Yeah.
Macav kind of looks around, and it's like super neat because she wouldn't have left it in that state. And she kind of looks at Ota and she knocks some of the books off just onto the floor. Now it's better, and now it's home.
Some things don't change. That's all I can expect. That's all I want. Never change.
Sure. Macav kind of looks. You can see her sink a bit when Ota says that.
The rest of you see within the room that there is a telescope that looks out to the ocean and mountain range of the northern section of the spine of the world. Aside next to that is a astrological device with a pinned flag in the only one green blue orb that sits in a brass contraption. The rosewood aroma as well in the air is a little bit stale. So Ota goes over to the windows and opens them up as a nice cold breeze comes on through. She looks back to the rest of the party. You're welcome to take a leave, relax, and just enjoy the space and study and prepare yourselves for the meeting as much as you want. The closets over there, and food can be brought up to you at a moment's notice.
Please feel free to look at any books or any devices you see. We can answer any questions. This is all just my personal stuff I've been collecting, so...
However,
Free game.
you will have to excuse the mistress and I. We need to dress you more appropriately. If you will excuse us.
Of course.
So, Amalia, Casimir, and Ikram, what would you like to do as Ota and Macaf head up the spiral staircase to the personal quarters?
I'm gonna read some books.
You read
Yeah.
some books?
Casimir is already just browsing the bookshelves.
Yep.
Name me. Both of you can make an investigation check. If there's anything you want, like a subject, anything that you think you could discover in here or find, or anything you search for, like a spell, any kind of lore.
Pretty much history of Brotherhood.
Yes. You find one book. You pull it out, looking through the history section. As you read, it tells of a small group of mages coming together. One of them, Macaf the Red. The other, Kashan Born Grey. And a couple of others. Those two names stick out first and foremost. And it said that Macaf the Red begun to raise the tower from the ground when Luxon was still just a small encampment. She then cultivated the rest of the tower. Years, centuries later, another Macaf became the Crimson, who then designed, created, and raised Margrave Academy, which is the fort-like university that stands next to the host tower. Casimir, on a note of that, Margrave Academy is a lot like Candlekeep,
Okay.
but in a much stricter curriculum.
Which is?
Wait, did I say the right thing?
Curriculum? Stricter curriculum. Like, what do they focus on more?
No, it's a lot looser curriculum. So they basically
right.
they have magical access to everything. There are no limits here, whereas at
Candlekeep?
Candlekeep they had restrictions such as certain raising necromancies and there was certain arts that were basically taken back and
So basically more morally right or good?
yeah, Candlekeep is
They restrict the more morally ambiguous stuff.
yes, pretty much.
Yeah. Okay.
As you read through, you read of the deeds of other Macafs as well. As you wait for your Macaf that you know to be dressed, there is Macaf the Scarlet. Great deeds created from her and progress made in the magical community for protections against planar barriers and breaches. Casimir, is there anything you're looking for?
Well, just relating to that last point, I was thinking about looking for any books relating to portals or summoning,
Yes.
such as what the Brotherhood is trying to do, I assume.
As you read on through...
Not the Brotherhood, the
Cult?
the Red Mages.
Yes, the Thane
The cult.
Wizards. Yes. So, as you read on through, you do find one book. It's heavily noted. It does appear to be a more simplified way of summoning elementals, small fays, basically trying to bypass and find the weakest barriers or time of years, like an equinox situation. In the back section as well, there is one note that says edge of the Flogstrom, dot, question mark, void, sea house jet.
Sea House Jet, like JET.
Yes, J-E-T. As you read through as well, Amalia, you see that there is the titles and deeds over years and years. It just reading the summaries mostly, just flipping through before you decide to get fully into your studies. You see that there's Macath the Ruby, Macath the Imperial, Macath the Garnet, Macath the Vermilion. A long, long lineage of Macaths over millennia. Nearly over 1,000 years. Well and truly over 1,000 to 2,000 years of Macaths. No true dates have been set permanently within these summaries either. It just goes one to the next, to the next, to the next as you go on through the books.
Are we super we're like everyone's friendly here, like when we're going in here positively. We're not like watching our backs and stuff here, are we? Or are we still being pretty cautious?
We should be like
Very cautious.
cautious still,
Yeah.
but not
Okay.
like on like
It's hard to tell because like Casimir is usually the cautious one, and he's like, oh,
No, that's just magic.
Cautious, but still be friendly.
yeah. We're
Yeah.
here. We're here to negotiate peacefully.
But Macath had a friend come summon her in Riverguard, right?
Yes,
Yes.
that was Ota.
That was okay.
And right, okay. And did Macath tell us like everything relating to the meeting and her thoughts and stuff, or?
In that last session, I believe you did, yeah.
Yeah, she would have said it would like.
Macath was basically forced to come back.
Macath was forced to come back because she didn't come back after her mission.
Yeah.
So that's kind of part one, but part two is also they've seen what she her fight in Succomba.
Yeah.
So since she is like a major head of house,
Yeah, to be just out there.
they're going to sort of
Represent.
see.
But
Wait.
they threatened Macath to get her to come back, right? Unless I'm misremembering.
Not.
Not aggressively.
Yeah.
Okay.
She was just warned that sort of there's eyes everywhere and there's ears everywhere.
Okay.
But she would have mentioned that there is also a possibility that the Brotherhood could align with Riverguard and all of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this can't be too aggressive.
Yeah. But they could also swing the other way and join the cult.
The cult.
Yes. Mikaf would have made that
Yeah.
very.
Look, I think in the end, best case scenario, they join the Lord's Alliance, and us. Worst case scenario, the cult. Not a bad situation is if they just stay out of it altogether.
Yeah, they
As long as they don't join the cult. It's
Exactly.
a win for us, kind of.
Yes, that's what I mean. Like, if we can say, like, at least don't side with them, so we don't have to fight you. That's okay. If you want to join us, sweet.
yes.
how big is this place?
This would be
Huge.
the tallest structure you've ever been in.
Oh, no, I mean like the city. Sorry.
Oh, the city is probably only the size of. I'll show you a map. As you look
Is it
over,
like similar to Riverguard or?
it's bigger than Riverguard. As you look out the window and take a peek, you can see all of Luskan.
When it loads. It's fuzzy. Oh yeah.
So the host tower of the Arcane is here.
Yep.
It's about Daggerford.
Yeah,
A little
round
bit
about
bigger
that.
than Daggerford.
Yeah, it
Bigger
would
than
be.
Daggerford.
A A little bit bigger, just because that over the water part.
Yep.
Yeah, okay. I'm going to
And-
look through the telescope and just have a look at what's going on out there. Spy on people.
People watching.
Yeah. While you're reading books, because I don't really do that.
You see that it's nothing but thugs, pirates singing sea shanties and getting drunk. There's a lot of pirate ships, and even more so, make me a perception check. This one you can roll for.
Perception.
Everyone or just
No, just Icarus.
okay?
And tell me what you get.
21.
21. You see the flags of one of the ships that you capsized on the way up to the north.
Remember when you tidal waved?
He wasn't.
Ships?
had a-
Yeah.
yeah.
No.
When we were going.
I mean, they didn't even see
Yeah,
us
we-
up close, so
Yes.
it's fine.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Was that
They're
Was
like
that when
hundreds
we
of
were
feet
going-
away.
to the Sea of Ice?
Yes, when you're heading to the Sea of Ice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I can't remember if it was that boat ride or
All the way back.
or
think
the
we
boat
teleported
ride
back
to
Oh, Chult.
Chult. Yeah.
No, it was the Sea of Ice.
Right.
Pretty sure.
Yeah.
But why did they? We don't know why they attacked
They're
us.
just
do we?
pirates. They're just
Yeah. Okay.
pirates.
Can I see the people, or is it I just see the ship?
The people are like small little ants.
Oh,
Well, not small little ants.
with a telescope?
With a telescope, you can make out some detail. They're pirates.
Yeah, fair enough.
Arr.
Are. As you continue on, Amalia, you can see that above one section of the study, there is a portrait. White eyes, red skin, horns that lean up, with long black hair, sitting in a in a long gown, with a long gown that kind of splits the knees, with puffy sleeves that are kind of short and long black gloves. Her face is very static. There's paintings almost lifelike. You can tell, although as you look at it, you can tell that there's nothing magical about it, but it is dated back to around about 100, 120 years ago. And the title down the bottom is Macath the Crimson.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
As Macath, during your change, Otard tells you about what's been happening since the Calling Calamity, the event in which the Drakhorn first called and sounded across the lands that called the dragon to attack from the north, south, and east of the world, creating this war. Kashan continues activities like it never happened, claiming our barriers and protections will be enough. Even the Brethren Court will continue to be fodder, and Master Mador's illusions will keep whatever comes our way at bay. I know the Brotherhood is loose, but I fear it may be going down a dangerous path like this, especially with Jet's new allies.
It's been going this way for years, for centuries.
It was just never this apparent. And she pulls up the choker and says, this latching may pinch a bit. As you then feel
I know.
the clasp goes on, and there's a small... Ikra, make me a perception check.
Why am I getting all the...
Because you're
Not the
paying
21.
attention. Blackjack.
There is a seagull off in the distance flying around.
Sweet.
But strangely enough, there is a firebolt that goes hurling up into the sky. You can smell a soft little... the smell of singeing feathers and then a little bit of blood in the air. And you're just like...
Can I
But
see where
then-
this is from?
Then everything is just basically overpowered completely by a perfume that is that you hear is sprayed up on the next floor as McAfee sprayed in this perfume and then places a headrest behind your horns.
Did Kushan request this outfit?
Yes, he's designed the new House Crimson formal attire, like the rest of the houses.
Yay.
Now, here, hold on, I need to give you something. As you continue your studies, Amalia, you look back up and you see that across McAf, the Crimson's portraits, across her lap is a scepter with a white gemstone in it. McAf, Ota turns back to you with a small lockbox. She then opens up. The lockbox is about that wide, or that long. She opens it up and says, "I took this from the vault. I know we're supposed to wait for the formalities, but
You took something from the vault?
I couldn't resist. It's important. You're here. You're back. You're gonna leave the house."
You ever disobeyed house rules? I go for 2 years, and even my most trusted advisor is off the rails.
You see, she has an expression of delight, and awe, but it then turns to a very serious face of just looking directly at you. Maybe you and your friend should go pay your respects to the Crimson when you can. And pushes the box towards you and opens up, and inside you see a scepter of crimson metal, wrought about 9 inches, with 4 inward curving tips akin to that of claws. Between the 4 claws is this white opal with red veins through it. You can feel it wanting to draw the draconic cold magic from you into the opal. Gives you the same familiar feeling to that of the Ice Sea Scrolls.
First off, I'm not supposed to take this until I'm named. Won't people see that I have it?
You can name whatever you want.
Ota, I must ask something.
We need a leader.
You had a leader. I was sent on a mission, and she starts getting angry, and then there is... You hear like you can hear downstairs she starts to raise her voice, and then suddenly she just cuts off. No one came until Waterdeep called me. You had a leader, but they didn't want me. And she sort of takes a scepter.
You feel, as you take the scepter, there is a rush of power from your hands to it. But then it's suddenly muted and pushed aside as you bury it down within you. Like a faint body tremor. You just pass it off to being a nervous shake. She closes the box and put it back on the dresser. Maybe consider it. I can prepare everything else. I'll do everything I can. And I know.
We're in a war.
I know. Come on, your friends are waiting.
And she'll come downstairs.
McAf leads the way down the spiral staircase. Would you like to describe the outfit, or would you...
It's kind of hard to. Okay, give me a moment, cause.
Oh, I can do it.
No, it's okay. I'm just trying to. Okay, cool. No, it should be fine. It's this sort of long, flowy gown with like lots of pieces of material that's this sort of dark red. I'll post a photo in the Discord of what I drew it looking like, with sort of pearlescent white sashes sort of going across her chest, with a massive brooch in the middle that is a white dragon head and wings. She has this sort of sheer red veil and is sort of almost covered head to toe in red roses. So I'll post that in Discord if anyone's curious.
Woo.
Woo. I'm gonna put in the art.
As she comes down, you can see, Amalia, that she holds the same scepter as Macath the Crimson does in her portrait. As she moves down slowly, down the stairs, Otar pronounces, I present to you the head of House Crimson, Macath.
You don't have to present me to them.
In the now official sense of the attire, it's protocol. I'm sorry.
It's really weird for probably a, like, say, Casimir. Akram will probably know, and Amalia. It looks really weird for, like, an academy outfit. It's like almost like a bridal or ball gown more than it is a sort of a stern uniform of like an academy or like a leader would have.
Yeah. Okay.
Lots of academies I've been to.
Well, you've seen like the formal outfits of like the
Back Academy.
Like they are very formal outfits, and this is very flowy.
More extravagant, I suppose.
Yeah, it's more extravagant out of anything.
It's mostly designed to draw in eyes and and take the attention. Well, not take the attention, but to be seen.
Yeah, I get it.
It's loud, but loud but defined. Especially the headdress. Headdress on her head in a hood that flows down behind her. It's kind of got a similar symbolism to something that you've used before, Casimir, but that have never liked the aesthetics of such item.
All right.
As the awkward seconds pass, there is a knock at the door. As you see, coming on are two star-cloaked mages. They look to you, Macath, and they give you a deep bow. And then one by one, looking at each and every one of the party, bows to them. And then they gesture to the door.
Okay, so everyone on their best behavior. This meeting will most likely decide whether a powerful ally or a powerful enemy is created. So, yeah.
Well, whatever happens, just so you know, myself and I'm sure these two are here to back you up, whatever happens. And then she's just going to be like, Milady, of course. just have a smirk on her face.
Actually, it's my lord, but okay.
Let's take this one step at a time.
No, seriously, just in case someone mentioned something. That is my official title.
Trust me, I don't plan on doing too much speaking.
These apprentices escort you down from the Crimson House spire past multiple full classrooms of potential mages practicing the mid-tiers of magic. You enter into a warp lift that takes you to the very top, the tallest spire, the headmaster's star. One by one, you enter through the antechamber and into a studious sitting room. The air is heavy with aromas as an overwhelming peace begins to unravel any tension that you hold within your shoulders or minds.
Does that seem like a magical effect?
You can make a wisdom saving throw for me if you want at disadvantage.
Sure.
Fine.
I don't want something to affect my mind.
Make an Arcana check.
27.
27. You know you are under some form of magical effect, but you feel that whatever it is designed to keep peace.
Okay.
To try to eliminate the course of hostilities while in this area.
I still don't like it, but we're kind of on their turf.
Yeah. It's not mind affecting.
Yeah, that's... I'll allow it.
As you pass through this antechamber, you then move into what is the meeting space. McAfee, you know Kashan is... He can be very flash. And usually is. But when it comes straight down to his meetings, he's direct, to the point, and simple. As you enter in... Let me just adjust it. Enter in. You see the headmaster sits in a high-backed chair at the head of a large table. This... a sun elf. He wears a very long, flowing grey robe with a star-lined cloak. His eyes are a sickened yellow, essentially, from Casimir, your understanding, is due to the effects of great magical energy. He wears an expression of understanding and balance, but his skin, you can see, pulses with a light green aura. Even in your arcane studies, this is a man of many years and many schools under his knowledge. Directly after taking your eyes off him, you see the elephants in the room. The rest of you do too.
I'd miss them.
Hard to indeed. Sorry. 5 finely dressed figures in black regalia of the cult of the dragon. Each wears a mask of a chromatic dragon. Those in green, white, and black masks remain where they are, while the red and blue step forward and sit at the table besides Rath Modor, head of House Jet, and someone who escaped, well, who was a simulacrum, at the very top of the Cloud Giant's castle. Is there a washing machine
I can hear it too. It sounds like a fan or something.
It's probably my fan.
Cool. Sorry about that. I was
Playing
just like,
D&D right next to your washing machine.
What, you don't? Come on, man.
sorry, I just got to put it on spin. Raph looks up towards. At first, just generally looking towards McCaff. McCaff, it's good to see you're back. If it wasn't for your line, my advances in my field would not be possible. You see he sports new tattoos that have been added to his face, hands, and head. Bold and wear these intricate Thayan robes. Casimir, make me a... Actually, no, straight up. You know that these new tattoos bear similarities to what the Void Speakers that accompanied the Neverwing had on them. That attacked the keep.
So, it's likely something that helps him travel the void, like without dying?
You're not entirely sure? You need to do more research.
Okay.
Kath will just look at him and go, "It's wonderful to see you too, Raph. Although I didn't miss your bald head."
Charming as ever. Kishan looks at Wrath and looks back at McCaff. Children, please.
Does this feel really awkward for us?
Oh yeah, I can.
Wait, he was a baddie that we fought.
Yeah.
We fought his ass.
I just mean like she's calling him bald and we're just like...
Raph still has a smirk on his face as McCaff approaches and sits down. You see that, especially you, Casimir, that the green and the white stare at you with contempt. Their masks are directly locked on you, and all you can see are the draconic eyes that fill the holes of the masks.
These aren't the actual dragon masks,
Make me an insight check.
because we still have the white one. So they couldn't have it.
Yeah, that's where it's pinging. You're just like,
I have advantage from the cube, right?
Yes.
17.
You know something's definitely off about the white. There is some very, very off about the white. You know it is definitely in your possession. Quick question, do you have it on you?
It is in my dimensional storage.
Wonderful, thank you. You feel like the eyes of whatever this mask is are just drilling into you as if they were real. However, the rest, you're very uncertain. The white's a little bit more off than the rest of them. The rest of them look like pure dragon heads.
Okay.
Just in humanoid size. Who would like to sit down at the table?
What's the headmaster's name?
Kashan Borngray.
Headmaster Kashan. I'm Casimir of Rilvigo. I hope we can have your assurance that no hostilities will proceed here.
I have taken all possible precautions in arranging this. I want no hostility. I want us to relax and talk. Come, take your seat, McCaff.
Yeah, McCaff. I assume, is McCaff like across from Raph, or
Yeah, you'd be across from Wrath.
she's just gonna look at him and go, like, "Sorry, did you miss your darling little sister?"
Who's her sister?
He looks at Kashan,
Oh, you too.
then looks back,
yeah.
then looks back at McCaff. Of course! We are, after all, one big family here. Fantastic to have you back, Madam of Crimson House. You brought such excellent friends, especially you, Mage Casimir. You have come a long way in your studies, I've seen.
Not too bad, if I say so myself. It seems you two have made some changes. He'll sort of refer to his head.
Of course, with progress comes sacrifice. I'm sure you're well aware of that. How is the scar underneath your left shoulder?
Wait, what's he mean?
You flash back and you're just like, shit, you've always had a scar there from back when, in the cave, they tried to harvest you.
Back when you were a child.
Back when you were a wee baby.
Back then.
When you were a wee baby.
Wee baby in a cage across from a mother who was
He
being
wanted your
harvested.
back rib.
Not my back rib.
You wanted the baby back ribs?
He wanted.
Oh, damn.
Alright, let's not go that way.
Hey.
No, I barely even notice it. But thanks for asking.
Kashan, will we be meeting with the rest of the head of the houses?
The sky is already backing the crimson, whereas the muted and light are both neutral in this phase. The only person left to win over is me. My votes account for both of the neutral parties, so once again, democracy at its best. As the head of the house, I shall always choose what's best for us.
I expect nothing less.
Just in the back, sort of bit. Maya's standing next to Ikram. She's gonna lean over and be like, "Are we supposed to know that bald fella?"
I haven't been listening. I've been too busy staring at the sheen.
Just like match their death stare.
Well, from what I can
Trying to
tell,
look intimidating and shit as well.
these two have a bit of a history, so just keep an eye on him.
Well, we all, except for Amalia.
Like,
have
we can hear.
Yeah, I
we
know,
can
that's
hear
why
it,
I'm
but,
asking. That's what I'm asking.
Okay.
So we fought Rathmadar's clone or simulacrum?
Yeah, simulacrum.
On the floating castle when we
Yeah.
Ages
took down
ago.
And
Resmi.
He's the head of the Thane Wizards, I believe.
Yes.
Yes.
You talking about Baldy?
Baldy.
Yeah, cool.
Remember, he's the one that brought up the wall of fire that like almost killed Sandstorm and
Yeah,
that sort of stuff. Yeah.
You see the dragon cultist in the red mask step lean in, hands on the table, and grab the mask. And as the mask is pulled, you see the robes begin to fold and move and recede into the mask that's then placed on the table. And you hear, "It's been a long time since I have seen you, but I have to thank you so much for accompanying me." And then gesturing to Casimir, "And for you for acquiring this wonderful present you gifted. I see you're still using my payment." Ikram, you see all the way back from the zero session of being
Which session?
from the zero session of being kids.
When we were kids.
Yeah.
Man who proclaimed himself as Severin.
Yes.
The man who you accompanied to the cultist outpost and found that exact red dragon mask sitting on a table before you.
Yep. In the Temple of Tiamat?
In the small temple of Tiamat. It's been some time. I'm very happy to see you again. You then see a small red pseudo dragon, exactly like a red dragon, just smaller, pop out.
Indeed, it has been about 17 years, if memory serves.
Oh, and what a wonderful 17 years it has been. My best friend, dead. My liaison, Neurovane, dead. Our first wonderful creature, born by the blood scale, immolated. You've been busy. Nearly as busy as I have.
That's unfortunate.
We did not come here to discuss the past.
Kashan speaks up. That is true. What we have come to discuss is you asked the Brotherhood to join your causes. Yet you war with each other consistently. The Cult of the Dragon and its forces, and the Alliance and the other factions of the world coming together. Again, to face an opposing force, whereas the dragons just want to have their own lands, their own worlds. Now, to what benefit, my house masters and your associates, would we gain, would our family gain in joining a side when we are already completely safe from the aftermath of either outcome? What benefits do we gain?
So he's just like opening the room now.
Yeah, he's open. He's sat back in his chair, gestured to you, and he is confident as fuck.
Yes, we have escaped war, and we have escaped devastation before, but this is a brand new war, unlike anything we had ever seen, with weapons thought to be lost centuries ago. I know this. This was my research. Unfortunately, one of the things is, well, we have lost information to dragons before. We lost most of the tower's information centuries ago to a dragon. If the war rages on, we might lose everything again. If one dragon can take down one of our towers, many more with a vendetta against us. Plus, the cult doesn't guarantee the loyalty of any dragons. They are a beast, unable to be tamed, but able to be friends. You can't guarantee the loyalty of any dragon, Wrath.
No, I cannot. Severin leans forward, but I can. I lead all dragons, and I will lead even Tiamat to her new home. And with that, she will be grateful to have, first and foremost, dragons having their own plane, among the gods having their own, among the strongest creatures to ever dwell in the cosmos, that are not deities, should be at the head of the pack, and we, their loyal followers, behind them.
Is that all you want to be?
The gifts of Tiamat will allow us to rule. And these powers and these gifts, if we are all seen as her horde, we will all be protected as her horde.
Kashan, we do not study magic to follow someone. We study magic to create our own amazing creations. Under the rule of, with aligning with the cult, you will only be able to create what they deem is necessary for a war. However, the Alliance still allows magic to be used. Whilst some spells are restricted, of course, not completely restricted, but those who cause death and destruction to those who don't need it. Can't you understand that this academy was born to create, to teach? What is the point of that if we are all just sheep?
Make me a persuasion check at advantage, because you mentioned the limitations and also the dragon law.
Persuasion.
Very nice. You seem as an incredibly good point. Raph leans forward. However, a lot of our current practice and research, especially within the beige and the jet, will be lost as you will be restricted and confined to these other outside influences. How do you not understand that? That is not free. We have also come to the agreement that the offering of draconic protection also comes from trying to understand their artifacts and their magic and their power. And gestures across to McCaff and says, as you can see how far we've come. We have nurtured an entire line, a lineage.
A lineage you don't know about. Kashan, if I am allowed to deviate slightly, I believe there is a question of my research that hasn't been acknowledged yet. My mission, of course, to the Sea of Moving Ice.
Do go on.
My mission was to find the dragon that I was descendant of, and to get back that knowledge that he stole. I did meet Arafator. That is why I stayed there. Well, not against my will. I offered my service as a translator, as the white dragon could not read. In then, I was able to read knowledge thought to be lost, knowledge that no one else besides yourself who was alive for it. There would be very few that would be able to remember an entire library's worth of knowledge that was stolen centuries ago. In doing that, I have gained some of the most important knowledge in this war. You must acknowledge that an ally of my potential, of my knowledge, would be extremely important. But not only that, there is something that everyone has gotten wrong here. When I was up there, and when I was rescued, something happened afterwards. After the Waterdeep Council came and found me, not the cult of the Brotherhood, may I ask, who knows that my magical prowess would be well acknowledged and well celebrated within the cult, may I say. I offered my services once again and decided to stay there. When I did, Arafator took me away from his home to somewhere else. Another dragon's den. Another dragon we did not know lived in the Sea of Moving Ice.
You have my attention.
The dragon thought to be lost, Ariphates. The last descendant of the first white dragon. The last pure descendant. In doing that, I learnt about Macaf the Red's true nature. She wasn't a goddess. She didn't raise any towers. She was a teacher and a lover who just wanted the world to share what she did. In doing that, it was revealed that Macaf the Red's child was not of Arafator, but of Ariphates. And that means the whole Macaf line, including myself, is a descendant of the first white. Something the cult should have known if they were smart enough to look into it.
Raph stands up. That is a lie! Looking at Kashan, you see he's leaning back in his chair, hand up on the armrest, relaxing like the pose I'm in now. You see him, his smirk on his face, drop into a frown for just a fraction, and then correct and be like, "This is a revelation. This is."
I have Macaf the Red's diary that was on her body, on Ariphates, that states her true intention.
So you've met with this first, as Raph begins to then protest. He just raises his hands and silences him completely. So you've met with the dragon, you've conversed with the dragon, you've learnt more about your ancestor than any of our histories have put together.
Yes, I've
Every-
learned more about both of the dragons.
It just seems everything that now we know is now wrong. Huh. You feel him begin to penetrate your surface thoughts, but not going any deeper, trying to begin to gain a measure of understanding, just to see if you're lying or not. He raises his eyebrows. Very, very interesting.
This knowledge could change everything. What don't we know? What do we know that could be challenged? There are now even more secrets that we don't know.
Other...
If Wrath and Makath are siblings, wouldn't he also be a descendant?
They're not actually siblings.
Okay.
It's like the
Like an adopted in kind of thing.
Yeah.
no, like they all
It's a mafia.
yeah.
Like a mafia. You're...
Okay.
If you're in
All
your...
the leaders are they're all family.
You're a part of the family.
I see now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're not.
So it's just like the Brotherhood is a family kind of
Yeah.
thing.
Yes.
Okay.
That's a
I
brother.
thought you meant literally.
No.
Okay, all good.
I did think that too, though.
Alright, so with that, Kshan looks at the rest of you and say, I'm sure, looking at the rest of the body, you have evidence to also confirm this? You found these secrets, discovered them? I mean, there is also some... I can feel it. There is a presence in the room that shouldn't be such a presence, but is. And he looks directly at Ikram.
We have spoken on multiple occasions with Atis directly. And if you wish to arrange it, with Makath's permission, I'm sure it could be arranged for you to also converse with them.
Mm-hmm.
I want to give you another check, but I don't want it to be persuasion.
Do a survival check.
Why not make a persuasion? I mean, it's a.
It's talking.
That's true. Okay, all right. Make a persuasion check.
Me?
Yes. So
Oh, whoops, it was at advantage. 13.
Got a luck die, remember.
Oh, I do actually.
you can spend that to get to 24.
I'm gonna... Yeah, I'll take the luck die.
Well,
Is it 24? Yeah.
as it seems, we have a very high price on the table, Wrath, Severin. What is the price that you're willing to pay? Severin puts the mask forward. By the end of the summer, 5 masks will be presented. 5 masks will be all you need to know about every dragon across the world and their magics. Despite what the Erythritis line of Fermine tells us. We have made great progress in being able to bring our own people born and created of this land, natives, and to bind them and to join them with dragons and their power and magic. Moreover than anything else, Tiamat will praise and give you not only what you want, but everything beyond it. And when I say that with all due haste. Not of a devout follower of Tiamat. No, I am not. I don't want the world. I don't want the universe. I want a home for the abandoned god who was struck against and was created and torn into the god versing the primordial that was asunder, created into Bahamut and Tiamat, and then left across the cosmos to then find their own place. Bahamut from his porch of the celestial mountain in the positive planes, while Tiamat was hurled and chained into Avernus. A home for her is all I'm asking for. And it's all I want to create, a home for dragons. Their own natural existence as the apex. We know that they are the strongest beings. Do not deny that even your power can fall to that of a dragon of significant age.
I acknowledge.
The mere problem that you pose, if our realm becomes Tiamat's home, then everything will be forced to bow to her will. Do you think Tiamat, the goddess of evil dragons, who is greedy and hateful, will give you anything?
She's told me herself, a well for a home. If I succeed in this, praise will be the last thing I care about. I have been wanting, and as he scratches the little pseudo-dragon's chin, a home for these kind, wonderful creatures. Since the dawn of creation, the first dragons in the Dawn Walls, now brought about from the blood and scales of Bahamut and Tiamat, are now here. They've always been here and always will be here, outlasting all of us. They deserve to have this as their home.
Yes, they do. But I still believe there is a way for us to live harmoniously. I have met chromatic dragons who are willing to forego these chains that they were given. They're not evil. There are some, yes, of course, but there are some humans that are evil. There are tieflings, there are elves. Everything has the potential. But when they are not born innately evil. They are born with the pressures to become evil. I have met both ancient and young dragons, chromatic dragons that are willing to help, willing to toss aside these titles they were given. There is a way for all of us to live in harmony. If this war goes any further, that will tarnish, that will be ruined, it will unable to be happen. People will be so scared of these dragons that they will hunt them en masse. We know that there are dragon destroying weapons. We know how to create them.
All thanks to you, gestures Severin. And he looks, and when he says that, he looks at you with an eye of hate.
Wait, to me?
Yeah.
I know. If I could erase that ability from this world, I would. But there is no... Yes. You know what? Tiamat does deserve a place. You know what? I have never been in communication with her, and I do not judge someone before I have met them. There is a chance that all of this has just been miscommunication and has been, like my lineage, lies that have just been retold and retold, and suddenly it's truth. But these dragons have the potential to be both, to be allies. to the Alliance. A lot of them are scared and don't want to be part of a war. Plus, don't they deserve to be free from any sort of pressures that have been put on them? I am born a tiefling. Devil's blood runs through my veins. But it doesn't mean I am a devil myself. Doesn't mean they are as well.
Make an intimidation check. And I'm just gonna roll 1d20.
Intimidation? Okay.
Not a bad roll.
Not bad roll. Not bad roll.
I'm still gonna luck die it.
Okay, use that luck die.
There is this possibility.
Wait, with luck die, do you take the higher, or is it just complete reroll?
Just
you
complete.
you can use whichever one. If it's like
So you can roll again and choose anyone.
yeah.
Okay.
Lucky.
Ugh. Shit.
Sean leans in. Headmaster Jet. It seems you have lost your foreground here. You speak of bringing nothing but power in a way, but even so, I may not set. I don't set limits. Everything, like the vast Flogstrom, the astral, everything is vast and unchained here. But you do not make others your own. What House Mistress McCaff of Crimson has said resonates with me, especially Mage Casimir. And with that, the Brotherhood's alliance falls with the Lord's alliance. You may take your leave now. Raph just sits back in his chair. It is of this day forward that I am no longer a member of the Arcane Brotherhood, as I invoke the law of abandon. I abandon all ties to the Brotherhood through offering of all progress of my knowledge. I lay no claims to any of the Brotherhood's new assets and information that they have gained from this. And with that, I bid you all, staring at Chasm. What?
I don't want you to go.
Ah, that is unfortunate. But there is still progress to be done. Severin looks directly at Casimir and puts the mask on.
Yeah.
I will see you again.
Casimir is
Only lead in your death.
I look forward to it, Severin.
You hear from the white mask and cloak, a low grumble. Casimir. As Raph then begins casting the teleportation spell, and in an instant, they flicker out, vamp away.
Kath looks to Kashan and go, I want them on our side.
House Jet or the Cult of the Dragon?
In a perfect world, I'd be able to convince both.
You've convinced me, and that's all you needed to achieve. Now, if you do not mind, I do have another matter to attend to. Please do enjoy your stay.
Thank you for your hospitality, Headmaster.
You're very well welcomed. It was an interesting show both sides have put on, so that was a nice span of entertainment that I'll keep in mind for the rest of my life, to be honest. Hopefully one day I'll get to see Tiamat for myself again. Anywho, please excuse me. And he literally picks up a book and a pipe.
Lord Kashan,
Yes?
would you like McCaff the Red's journal?
Lowers the book, folds it, closes it, puts down the pipe. For the moment until you are named, you hold on to it. It is your place to know as much as possible about your ancestor as it is mine. You are our guiding blooming rose after all.
I think I have an inkling of what you wanted me to be named.
Until the ceremony is done, then you shall be.
Thank you, Lord Kashan.
You kind of see as he raises his hand up and kind of like gives you a little, what's it called? A little stroke of the chin, just like hold it up. And just gives it a tap. You are dismissed.
And McCaff will get up and leave. And I imagine everyone follows suit.
Oh yeah.
Definitely. And she'll just whisper to McCath, it's like, congratulations, McCath. I think that went well.
I think you're muted.
Mon?
Mon, I think you're muted.
No,
No? Oh, I'm sorry.
no, I'm not.
There you are.
I am here. Hello.
Hello.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
My ears.
McCaff now speaks in Uwu.
Oh, Unu. As you spend the rest of your turn and spend the afternoon, you can go check out the academy, stay in McCaff's dorm,
I'd send a message to Vermilia.
of the Harpers.
Yes, just saying. Headmaster
Kashan Borngray.
Yes, has agreed to join the Lord's Alliance and turn down the cult's offer.
Is that all?
She passed on the word, basically.
She replies, "That is an amazing achievement. Thank you so much in all your endeavors. I know it's been hard recently. Congratulations."
Alright.
Yeah.
And then I'd ask the others, alright, what should our next move be?
First, just a small formality. Casimir, since you are the sort of second in charge of Riverguard, she puts out her hand. I believe we are now officially allies.
It has been a interesting path that brought us here, but I think you're right, officially. And he'll shake hands. On behalf of Riverguard, I would formally ally ourselves with House Crimson.
Actually, you align yourself in the Arcane Brotherhood.
Oh yes, yeah, that's correct.
Well, minus Wrath, House Jet will still be a part.
Well, he abandoned his role.
Yes.
Although there might be some followers within House Jet.
There will most likely be, but there is still the entire academy. So, every up-and-coming mage is at our side now.
We'll need them.
Yes. I should introduce you to the other heads of the household. They are also powerful magic users. All of us are descendants of dragons.
Do you think they'd be bothered if I asked if I could take some samples?
I mean, you could probably explain what they'd be used for and they might be fine. I mean...
Just for my own studies?
This is the
Well-
most passionate I've ever heard Casimir talk, eh?
Fucking magic, mate.
Well, now the Arcane Brotherhood's entire library is open to you to use whenever you like.
That's basically the door to Casimir's heart.
Oh, I plan to make good use of this.
The school opened with Macath the Red about 2 millennia ago. From there, we have been collecting research. We do have some pieces missing, but they are the ones with Arathator, so I'm sure I could get you some of those if there are some additions missing from those years.
Well, I appreciate the offer, and I'll let you know.
Also, I'm imagining like the Arcane Brotherhoods is like the Beauty and the Beast library. You know how it's like
Yeah.
massive. And
That-
like,
That is essentially, yeah. They have. Let's put you onto that map. They have, let's see, about 4 of those libraries just in the academy itself. Like, to find anything, you got to do a lot of teleporting just around both the academy and then to the tower to find the right stuff.
Oh, hell yeah.
They have multiple libraries, lecture halls, as you explore the grounds as well of just the Margrave Academy. A lot of it is... there are mages going. Casimir, you feel like you're back at Candlekeep again.
It's like Candlekeep, but bigger.
Like, you see that there is one mage walking around with 3 zombies trailing behind him that are also doing research and writing notes while he's speaking with a skull that's on fire with green penetrating eyes. So they're just conversing back and forth through each other.
Very interesting.
You also made aware that there is such a place called the Vault where all their magical artifacts and the more lesser but more important magical artifacts and potions and such are kept and created, and the Brotherhood's basically the graveyard, not the graveyard but the memorial hall.
Maybe we can do some trades.
When you see whenever you go past a classroom that has members of the House Crimson, I just lost my phone. Where'd it go? You see that there are statues and portraits and full illusions created of the Macath line. Seeing her everywhere. A lot of the students as well go past Macath statues, offer a bow as well. Those are the ones that are of House Crimson. You see that there are different colours walking around. Those of the Crimson, those of jet black, those of a muted yellow. There's one of more muted beige. There's one of a bright yellow and a nice sky blue. The different house colours going around.
Gryffindor.
Pretty much. Pretty much. It's a little bit of Hogwarts.
That's not a bad thing.
Well, it's not. Well, it's not like that, but it's just the majority.
So wait, is he just gonna go around and look at shit? Is that basically?
You can look at shit. Yeah.
Formalities and probably just.
I'm
like,
gonna go like to one of
skip through.
these like foresty areas and find a park bench and take a nap.
You take a big nap. You take a good old nap. You relax.
So what is the group's plan at the moment, though? So Casimir will just go and sort of formally meet the heads, and then what? What does everyone want to do?
Well, McCaff's gonna speak to Ota a little bit. I
Just
imagine.
sort of catch up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maya's just gonna hang around McCaff.
We can still communicate via those rings, eh?
Yes.
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 Yeah.
Yeah, just wake me when you're ready.
Wake me up when September ends.
All this knowledge and book stuff is kind of like.
But
I hated books when I was like, when I was looking after the town hall,
Yeah.
paper's made
And that
from
was, like,
trees, and you
basic
love
book.
trees.
and you're killing the trees.
It's a minor setback.
McCaff, as you find Ota and then wander the grounds with Amalia by your side, Ota looks back towards Amalia and says, I know you're probably a little bit confused, but yes, all the houses are representative of dragons, such as the House Sky. That is very well representative of the blue lineage, whereas the muted beige is that of the green, and the yellow is that of the red hot white light that is a dragon's fire. It's a naming convention that the original creators of the Brotherhood followed.
It's
See?
very weird.
Yeah, I read up on a bit of the history of the Brotherhood, so I'm vaguely familiar with the proceedings of back then.
Seriously, I've been here, 30 years, and I still never figure out why beige is green. No book ever states why.
Mostly because
I reckon it's because way back when no one really liked the green side, so they just gave him beige because it's a shit color.
I mean, you're probably right, but I like green dragons. I made a very friendly green dragon.
But like back then, you never know what it was like.
That's true.
a lot of from what I know, when sun elves get incredibly sick, they really lose their coloring and go a bit beige, to be honest. So it could be.
Do you think Kashan was poisoned by a green dragon and that's why?
He's so dull. Yes.
Well, no, not when he's dull, but just like the color of his skin went beige, so they just associated the green dragon with him turning beige.
With his sickly eyes, I wouldn't be surprised.
That's true. Anyway, so Amalia, have you ever been to an academy like this?
I have not, no. I've only ever studied in the libraries in Waterdeep.
Oh, well,
I
yes,
never had a
it's-
chance to go to Candlekeep myself, but I did what I could with what I had.
Well, if there is anything you would like to know, we basically have a book on everything, so...
You see two students rush on over towards McCaff, both of half crimson. They're rushing over. Mistress of Crimson, have you finally been named? Have you You hold the scepter. Has it happened? Did we miss it? Oh my god. Lorenz, we've missed it.
No, I've just come back from an extremely important meeting, and my retainer believed that I should look the parts.
Dad, Ota speaks. That's probably my mistake. We should maybe should
She's gonna grab Ota and like, does she have like arm braces or something? You said
yes.
She's just gonna kind of stuff the staff like down.
She's gonna
one of her braces.
She's gonna push it back and say, "We should probably return this."
You should probably return it.
We should probably return it.
Yes, because I have access to it. But no, you haven't missed out on anything. If anything was to happen, all of House Crimson, all of the Arcane Brotherhood would be aware of such an event.
Oh, of course. Oh, thank you. We can't wait for the time it does happen. Thank you. One of them looks back. What name will you take? The other student goes, "You can't ask her that."
Well, I believe Lord Kashan already has a name in mind. So I guess he will help me take a name.
Oh, well then. We can't wait to be there. We'll wear our bests.
Thank you so much.
Good afternoon. And they scurry off back to their classes.
She just kind of looks a bit sad. After that, like she was like really happy and really positive, and then she kind of deflates a bit.
What's wrong?
Nothing. It's just you've probably seen all the statues and everything.
I have. They're hard to miss.
Some pretty big shoes to fill.
Yes.
Especially when you learn that she wasn't any of this. Macathla Red, the one who started everything, she was none of this. She didn't even have magical powers. She was a wizard. She learnt everything.
Hence why I think we should go pay our respects to the late Crimson.
Of course. Amalia, Macathla Crimson was my late grandmother.
That checks out. I remember seeing a portrait of her in your chambers. It was Catholic Crimson. That was the portrait with the scepter, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and that's the one with the scepter.
Yes. Hey. Look. Yes, I know that you have a namesake that everyone looks at when they see you, but you will always be you, and you will always make your own path and create your own story. You don't have to follow in the same footsteps as the ones that came before you.
Is Ota's still like there?
Ota's still there, yeah.
But what happens to the ones that don't? You only hear of macaques.
Apparently there's never been one that has gone against the grain.
Hey.
The strangest thing is, and I guess I never really had time to think about it. And I'm sorry, Ota, if this is jarring, but I have parents, right?
And the two news came. Kashan delivered it. It was in the calamity. Apparently the village where they lived was razed.
Ota.
I didn't want to tell you here.
Ota, I don't know my parents. Nope. Is there a cat?
Rage quit.
Hello.
Never mind. If Kashan wishes to say something to me, he will come and address me himself.
Of course.
Let's go see McCaff.
Yes. With that, she looks over and shall we? Looks over it and puts Ikram. You should bring your friend as well.
I thought I was out napping.
Well, this is passing through as well, a courtyard.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
I'll go retrieve him.
Okay, it's okay. We can all go together. So I imagine it's like a bench he's found.
Literally a park bench, just with some like something that's natural around me, just to kind of be like.
McCaff's kind of just gonna like squat down, so she's like eye level with his face and just kind of poke him a little.
I'll just like wake up, open one eye, and then just freak the fuck out.
Sorry for waking you, Vikram. Ota brought up a point. We're heading to the Academy's grave site. It's known to have some of the most beautiful flowers that we can grow both magically and organically. You're more than willing to join us if
I'm
you'd
in.
like to come. I think it might be
Made flowers.
it might be one of the most interesting parts of the academy for you. Unfortunately, our flora isn't as interesting as probably the stuff you grow.
It's all good. I
Right.
get it.
You're welcome to come along.
Yeah, I'm down.
As you all begin...
Casimir's just bailed, eh? Like he's basically doing his own
He
thing.
is in his
He's,
dreamland.
he's in his dreamland.
Wouldn't it be nice if the world... He's doing these ones. Yeah, I'll come with you.
Cool, and we'll head to the graves.
And as you make your way heading towards the vault where the memorial hall is held, you see trying to gain access into the vault is Casimir. Trying to exchange what information he can to try to get access.
Casimir,
Yet,
what are you trying to do?
I just merely want to see the artifacts that are stored here.
Unfortunately, the artifacts are dearly protected, but as a head of house, I do have access. Unfortunately, I'd have to be with you at a time. If you give me just an hour, I will be able to be back and we can explore the vault together. I have the scepter I have to put place back in.
Very well.
I'm sure there's enough here to preoccupy you till then.
You're quite right.
As you begin to head through the vault down through into the memorial space, you then begin to see that a wonderful trove of spellcasters, mages of all kinds of breeds and backgrounds and descriptions. There are certainly many plentiful McCaffs down the line, especially through the limb of the Crimson. You do see that there are many magical artifacts also bound here in stasis, surrounded by tributes, artworks, living memories that show their lives next to them on display. Always a memento to their lives. As you trudge deeper into the hall, you see a statue of McCaff the Crimson stands before you. Her left hand is elegantly out as if to take your hand, while her wrists, that left wrist, holds engravings of a bracelet-like groove. Her left hand is... her right hand is held at a low-angled grip, just above the right knee, where you can see 4 heavy cuts into the stone. In the thigh stone, where her leg is, that nearly connect to a cross. Ota leans over. I may have just taken it from her grasp.
Yes, because that is the only way you can get it. Wait, are we in the vault or at the grave?
At the grave. It's like it's not just a standard graveyard. It is like a hall of kings and queens in a sense, but it's also decorated as such that it is a massive, beautiful flower garden throughout it.
Okay.
Yeah, like a greenhouse.
Yeah. Now I'm confused because you said the staff was from the vault.
Yeah, you have to pass through the vault to get to the...
Oh. No, you didn't make that clear at all.
I'm very sorry.
Okay. So yeah, I imagine Casimir's up there, looking at all the pretty shiny stuff. Macaf. Because how tall is this? Is this a big statue? Is it?
It's basically your same... basically life size, just on a 2-foot high pedestal.
Macaf, like, kind of goes to like lean up as if she was gonna like use her wings and fly up, and then she kind of stands back on her feet and just gives the staff back. I imagine she took the staff and then gives it back to Ota for her to put back.
As you go to give it to Ota, you can feel that there is that same tingle through your arm. Can you make me a charisma saving throw?
Oh, that's a natural 1. I wish I had that luck die.
Could you roll me 8d8?
8d8.
Actually, 10d8.
No.
Ow.
Ow. How do I advance?
Advance roll,
No,
please.
oh, sorry, I didn't mean to roll that.
That's fine.
8d8 or 10d8? Sorry.
10d8.
54.
You feel drawn from you towards the scepter. It is a visual explosion of frost and draconic scales that then burst out of your arm and then spread down towards the scepter as the scepter drains your 7th level spell from you and embeds the frost magic into it. There's a searing pain and you feel a push against your back from your dress, but then you also begin to hear voices. It's a faint whisper. It's in your head. It's coming from the statue. Amalia?
Can we sense something is off with her, or are we just...
Oh yeah, you see the entire explosion of frost down her arm as she's
okay.
going to give it away. And then you can also, once you see like her reel from it from a bit, you then can also begin to hear these little whispers as well. These little hasp, hasp, fall, hush, hush.
Wait, is Macaf able to make out the words?
At the moment, it's like a slight whisper. You make a perception check.
Is everyone hear it or just Macaf?
Yes, everyone begins to hear it emanating from the statue and then from in their own heads as well. Casimir
Oh,
can
sorry.
hear it down the hall as well.
What was I supposed to do?
A perception check.
Perception is shit.
You
It's
hear,
not bad.
It's not bad, actually.
you're able to make out, though it's not entirely clear. You don't get the whole. I was saying, but you pick up words. I heard. Vault. Pinnacle. Red. My. Young. Complete. Zonthal. Daughter. Horde.
It's not helpful at all.
Otis says, what's that sound? This didn't happen when... What is this? Is this an attack?
Yeah, it seemed like the scepter drew some magic from Macath. Are you
Macaf's
okay?
gonna take back the scepter. Like, immediately snatch it.
Are you okay? You keep on hearing those words. Everyone begins to hear those words repeat constantly, as if you're a bit too far away from the conversation to make out the entire bit.
It's taking a part. It took a part of me.
But it,
Imagine Kaz is still sort of down the hallway, even though he heard it.
Yeah, Macaf's just gonna yell out Casimir.
but you taking back the scepter hasn't stopped.
No, I felt it before when I first grabbed the scepter.
And you can
I felt
see.
something me.
Sorry.
I felt something go from me. I just.
Can you make out what the words are? What language is it?
Just common. Just
It is
straight up
common?
common. You can hear, and you can hear it in your head as well, but also you can hear it audibly from the statue.
It's her.
Her?
Casimir, you begin to hear those words again too. This faint whisper, as if someone's already whispering in your ear, but still from afar, not to make out an entire conversation, but also in your head.
I'll take note of the words mentally.
Macaf, you can also see that the frost is beginning to turn and create scales down your arm
Of a white variety?
of a white variety.
So, like, back to what it was almost previously?
In a sense, yes.
Are they, is it like a different shape of scales? Is it like the same scales?
More refined, more thicker, more powerful. This scepter essentially just took your greatest reserve of magic and took it for itself.
Is there anything different about the white crystal in it?
Yes, you can see that the red veins in the crystal are no longer red, they are shining pure white. As if they are cracks. You see the claws that surround it make a near perfect cross as well as the light shines out of it.
Okay. Does Macaf... I don't know. Macaf doesn't know if everyone can hear the whispers, or is like everyone's kind of...
We can definitely all hear the whispers.
Okay, I wasn't sure if everyone was like reacting so she could see that something was happening with them as well.
Amalia's just gonna kind of sit down, cross her legs, close her eyes, and really focus on the words. See if she can discern what they're actually saying.
It's the
What
same,
language was it again, or was it we?
just in
Okay, no.
common.
Common.
You begin to hear the same words over and over again, but they're no clearer. It's just you still feel like you're just too far away.
All right. She'll begin to go closer to the statue.
Still, at the same time, you can still. It's a little bit louder, only the faintest bit louder.
Mm-hmm.
But still, you're not making out the entirety of it. You look over the statue, it is blood red. The eyes of it are white. They were white. It's like a complete lifelike statue of Macaf the Crimson. In her dress, as it kind of splits around the mid-thigh, the statue of her, one leg is basically forward, one hand is being held out, her left hand is being held out like that, and her right one is being held out with a grip that floats above the right thigh where the 4 little near crosses sit.
So both her hands are empty?
Her hands are empty, yeah.
One is where the scepter's supposed to be, and the other is just...
Is there anything below this statue?
No, this
is a grave, but Macaf the Crimson isn't buried here.
Well, these words are coming from somewhere.
It's coming from her. But I don't... She's gonna like look at her, because she's got the staff in like her other hand. It took something away, but my draconic nature grew because of the power I gained, but it only got lost because of the serum. Maybe it's reacting with that. Rita, what do you think?
I think we should put it back and be done with it. I'm scared.
Ota, look at my hand.
I've never seen this before. I'm scared. I'm scared as you are. This is what you've been doing.
Okay.
This is normal.
Ota, you saw me.
I did, but I never saw your power explode like that.
Part of me really wants to break it. I'm just putting it out there to everyone. Part of me really wants to smash it, but I don't know what it would do. Kazumi, your thoughts?
I think smashing it is probably the worst choice because we don't know what'll happen.
Whereabouts did you say there was a mark that is a almost cross on the statue?
Just below her lowered grip hand.
It sounds like...
Well, that seems to match the claw of the scepter itself.
I don't know if putting it back will do. Ota, yes, put it back.
Okay.
But is it in a spot that if it gets put back, it goes into that mark? So whereabouts were those marks again?
On the right thigh, mid thigh, one looks to be exposed skin.
Yep.
And the scepter, the hand that was kind of like a grip and an O grip, was just above those little marks.
Yeah, so it like rests on that.
Right, okay.
Yeah. I think we should place it back also.
Yeah.
Seems to me that there's something to be found or discovered.
Yeah. And Kev is going to get Ota to put it back.
Ota puts it back, but in backwards, so that the claws go into the leg. She stands back. A moment passes, and you can see that the statue then begins from the scepter of the from the point of the contact with the scepter and the thigh, begins to turn to ice and covers the body, and then turns transparent to create, goes transparent and becomes mist that then creates a passageway that descends down.
Very interesting.
The voice then begins to get louder from the descent.
Evidently, there is something below.
McCaff is like immediately going.
Okay.
And Maya will follow.
I'll keep I'll keep watch of everything up here. I'll make sure no one comes by, and I'll make sure everything's safe. You be careful down there.
I will.
All
You
right.
too.
As you begin to head on down, the voice becomes clearer until it's like you were speaking out of your own mouth. I heard Kashan frequents the vault more often since I reached this pinnacle. Histories I've read tell that she wielded great magic, even beyond my own capabilities. More than what I can summon, even while I was young. I've had everything. And now, I'm still not complete. Missing something, even after my naming. Even through my haste in completing and constructing the academy, its curriculum, and sourcing candidates, was not enough. Even though I hold the scepter of red, it's still not enough. What am I missing? At least Sunfall Tower and my keep. My daughter will be safe. I'm sure my draconic bloodline will see to that. They are my horde. Upon reaching the landing, McCaff the Crimson
Okay, cool.
This wasn't a part of your overall plan. This well-lit laboratory. I got that confused. Anyway.
What? Okay.
You see equipment and arcane devices you've never seen before. Huge glass cylinders with illuminated liquid bubbles that rise. You can see rows of 3, and then another 2 off in the distance. Both sides with tables, notes, desks. Beakers and other tools are spread out at its center with giant chains that connect to the cylinders that hang about 3 feet off the ground. Next to each tank is a brass tub of boiling blood that smells of sulfur. Tubes go from the tub up into a device on a tank that then connects to a metal bar that then travels in through the cylinders, in through the tank wall into the water. And as you approach, the light begins to fade. The shape of a tiny humanoid begins to take shape through the foggy bubbles. Silhouette, tiny humanoid. A baby? With black hair. 2 horns protrude from the front of its head and its skin is red. You look hastily to another. Across the tank it's written, Fail. Mutated from within, its infernal lineage, crossed with draconic features, mutated completely. Its white eyes and white scales look to be painfully stabbing out of its red skin. More tanks labelled Fail the closer you get to the center of the lab. McCaff the Crimson, in all details, all of your design. This is not yours. Never part of your design. And on the largest table is a large black-bound book, open and propped up on its stand. You notice that its handwriting is that of Stronger Bonebiter, the Jet. And the name of Macaff the Red is heavily written in an underlined scrap of parchment next to one section.
I don't like this. This is weird. Macaffer's just gonna look back at the party.
You look back, there is Macaff the Crimson. You look back and you're all by yourself. Why did you turn around just then? You don't know.
Ooh.
Mind fuck.
Oh god. I guess I'll walk towards the table. I guess.
You take a look at the book. It is the sermons of Stronger. He had written these sermons years ago, but still continues the practice here after coming to the host tower of the arcane. The last time you saw him was a couple of months ago, and he was sporting a nice new cloak of blood red demonic scales with a hand clasp that had an extra thumb on it.
I guess I'll read some of the book.
Next to the note where it says Macaff the Red, you begin to read. It states, though the blood rites and Brew creating the phylactery of Quanalith, one of the oldest blue dragons since time began, I begin to realize that Micrel, the god of death, is grateful for his death, for the Dark Lady is more pleased. How could the death of one of her lovers please her? This is your greed. She's pleased.
Oh, God.
Through the signs and communion bowl, we've heard her servants. She calls for her own home, her release. A name was given of one of our tiefling brothers. The sacrifice has taught us the beginning. A young follower was the only one brave enough to confront Elphiomon.
Do any of those names?
Elphiomon is that of the first red dragon.
Okay.
Michael's the god of death, and the first name I mentioned, Quintharek,
Yep.
was a very, very old blue dragon that became a lich.
I became a lich. Okay.
That then proceeded to die through events later on.
Okay, so I have... This is... Oh, okay. I'm trying to piece it all together, and yeah.
You then hear, and the chains begin to rattle. As you look around, you don't see anyone. The chains from above. You hear them break. It's 3 tanks and shatter and smash on the ground, arising from these pools of sulfur. As the liquid begins to churn and move and grow on their own accord. these twisted draconic forms dragging behind this massive crimson slime. One begins to take the form of just a general outline of a tiefling. Another one is more of a hunched form of a dragonborn that sports 6 long tails, with one of them connecting to this large crimson slime. Another one, you see the resemblance of the red emerge from it. And then the head just falls off and slimes on the ground, and then joins the rest of the sludge as it slowly moves towards you. I need you to roll initiative.
I don't know what the fuck is going on right now.
Gone into a memory of sorts.
Now, boys, in
Yes.
In the real world.
the thing,
Oh.
in the real world, on the side, you will see a little something that you can now touch.
Hmm.
If someone could take call dibs on the blue, if someone on the blue dot,
I got the blue.
if someone
Oh
called
my God,
dibs,
you're so mean. What the fuck?
Take the
What
right
did I
one.
ever do to you?
I'll take purple.
I bought you dice.
I'll take green.
You can't escape with the blob.
The blob.
Blue.
Is there any reason we would want to touch these?
So, just so you know,
Good
for
luck,
perspective, where you are now is just the only individual in the room is McCaff. Whereas Brad, Luke, and Rob will pilot these blobs.
Interesting.
I'd like...
What the fuck? I do everything for this campaign.
And it's centered on McCaff.
So what are these things?
I wrote an entire backstory and Kyle has forgotten half of it tonight, and this is what he gives me.
I mean, they look fun, like jelly.
I did forget... Alright, one point was... Alright.
No,
A word
don't
from
have-
a
Cat's allergic to jelly.
Don't explain that.
We just want a hug, that's all.
Well, I don't know if these things are going to move first, so I rolled a 14.
Okay. So, the rest of you will see that there is... On the oblex, you will see the little dice up top, where it says hint.
What? Int.
It's loading.
In it.
So,
Oh,
Monty, just for mechanics' sake.
no, I'm not doing it.
Okay. Fair, I deserve it.
What is this? Eat.
Sorry, what, how do I roll initiative with these things?
Just press Dex.
Oh, I didn't even see that.
In it.
Yeah, I saw it on the tiny ass motherfucking icon.
No, that's just break. Alright. Please excuse me.
No.
Brad,
Yes.
if you would.
Okay. What's... Okay then. So at this point in time, we are.
You're not in the room, just the blobs.
Yeah. No.
Right,
I'm
we're the
just like
blobs.
these things, the blobs. All right. Just gonna slowly blob towards McCath. and then whatever,
Slowly blob.
and then whatever impersonation is coming out of my blob is going to try to.
I think you're the
Attack.
headless one.
No, I think I was the tiefling.
Oh,
Take
you're
you-
the tiefling?
Whoever's
Take your pick.
blue. No,
You can either be the tiefling, the dragonborn, or the headless one.
I will be the headless one.
Damn it.
Yeah.
I was gonna take that.
I'm just the headless one's just gonna try to take a mad swing at it. Oh wait, can I just? Oop.
All right, so Mayhap, you see Mayhap the Crimson. You see these blobs come up and reel over towards you, and send an arm out, and then smacks and burns against your skin. That then also assaults your mind. Ikram, if you could please do your oblex.
Sure. Still trying to figure out what it does.
So its actions are multi-attack, basically, which does
Yeah. And I
the
was just
things it
reading-
says.
I was just reading 8 memories. I'll just move over and do a multi-attack as well.
Oh, I actually didn't multi-attack then as well.
Ah. Thought you did.
Just realized that.
Okay. That didn't help me at all.
You gotta click on each thing.
On the...
The pseudopod.
What do you mean?
Click on the word.
Oh.
So that's gonna miss. That's gonna miss. And that's gonna miss.
Wait, what?
Oh, Brad was
Last
one.
one
Of them.
misses?
Yes.
What, 11?
I was 24.
No,
I got it on.
That's the advantage. No.
Ah.
Just take the left ones.
No.
Take the left ones. And
It's hard being goopy.
The 8 memory.
and then
Easy
Casimir.
Being cheesy.
Casimir, your
Okay.
blob.
I'm blobbing in. Bloop. And multi-attacks, 2 pseudopods, and 8 memories. Huh. This is 16 hit.
What is Macaf's current armor class? Your character sheet, man.
I'm looking.
Sorry.
It's pretty high,
20.
isn't it?
20?
20?
Yes.
Okay, so a 22 hits though.
22 hits.
That's 17 damage.
Oh,
Then-
but, so did I get? Sorry, did I get?
I think Brad's
hit me?
first one was the only one that hit you as well.
Yes.
Oh, sorry. Okay, so that was
15 damage.
damage. Okay.
Plus.
Oh, sorry. What was the damage I took before? Was it 55 or something?
You didn't take that damage. That wasn't damage taken.
That wasn't damage taken. Okay,
No.
so I've lost. What was it? Sorry.
32 total.
32. Cool.
And then, as part of the multi attack, 8 memories. So you need to make a wisdom save.
Cool.
Take 24 psychic damage. And become memory drained. When memory drained, target must roll a d4 and subtract the number rolled from any ability check or attack roll. Each time the target is memory drained beyond the first, the die size increases by 1.
Okay, so sorry. What does that
Okay.
mean?
So when you make a ability check or attack roll, you subtract a d4.
Let's track the D4. Okay. Cool.
So
And if you get memory eaten again, it goes d6, d8, etc.
Okay, it increases. Sorry,
Yeah.
I didn't know whether it increased by like a D4 or if it.
No. It just the die size increases.
Yeah.
Until you have a rest or greater restore or something.
Okay, cool.
Macaf.
Cool.
You're in danger.
You are
I
definitely.
don't even know what's happening.
You're getting blobbed.
So it took away my 7th level spell slot.
Mm-hmm.
I-
Well, actually, hold on, sorry. McCaff the Crimson still has her 7th level spell slot.
Cool. I'm going to chain lightning everyone.
Okay, so there's no subtraction roll. Everyone just has to make a dex save. So you just click on.
We just hit Dex?
So you just got to click
Do we
on
just-
dex.
Do we just click Dex? Yeah, okay.
Just click dex.
99.
I'm guessing they all failed.
Ouch.
Yeah, you all failed. All right. Anything else you want to do with your turn?
I guess I'll. I can't really move without getting an attack of opportunity, will I?
You can misty. Thanks to our wonderful donations tonight, you can misty step.
Cool. How far is Misty Step?
30 feet.
And as you saw before, the blobs are not fast.
I mean, they're pretty fast for blobs, though.
I can't move my character.
Oh, I'm so sorry. That's one thing.
That is true.
Just
Oh, it's a
move
different
that,
token.
30 feet towards the table.
They're blah.
Cool. As you get away, you're just like you hear a voice from behind you. It utters a word. A word so powerful that you then fall and drop to your knees. And reel forward. You then begin to hear a voice as the blobs slowly come towards you as your vision begins to recede. You've done so well, my Crimson. Kashan's voice.
Oh.
Alas, you were flawed from the beginning. His footsteps slowly becoming clear through between the blobs. But a suitable replacement and test subject from the red. Though we've learnt a lot, here we have learnt connections from the tiefling subspecies and their infernal lineages. That would make a nice title for a book. The next subject will be destined for the White Veil. As he clicks his hands, you see the white dragon veil appear. He teases it above your head. With Arafator's attacks, the Icy Scrolls research has slowed, I'd admit. I know, you have yet even to meet him. I always believed the task was beyond your power, but your theory of using a gate to access the Frostfell, to find the frozen in time, was genius. What a way to open up the scrolls permanently. So as a final act of mercy, I'll grant you one happy memory before you join the Oblex. You then see the blobs coming around you. Just know that you were destined for greatness, and you would become the firstborn of two greater gods. You would have reigned in Ice Claws like Red, and you would have donned the White Veil and obtained the greatest wealth of power and territory in all of this sphere. He grabs your chin, holds it up and pats it. All while being on my direction. What? I can alter the memories of the first blood of an ancient white. You were like child's play. A secret village? Tower don't worry. I'll be sure your line continues. And then the red begins to envelop the crimson until there is nothing left but darkness. McAff, upon reaching the landing with Ikram, Amalia, and Casimir, everyone's vision returns to normal, and the smell of blood and sulfur assaults your senses. So
Cap is just going to run to the place where Crimson was.
You can see that there is one shattered pool of crimson sludge where McAff, the Crimson, fell. She died of old age, from what you know.
Cap is gonna look at it and she's going to try to get angry. I don't know what. Like, she's just gonna try and be angry.
Make a charisma saving throw at advantage.
She's gonna try and be angry and she's gonna try and get her wings. Sorry, what was it? Charisma saving?
Yeah, charisma saving at advantage, please.
Cool. 23.
On a 23. You can hear the rip and tearing of flesh. The pressure from your back. There is something pushing this rage, this cold hate, but this this depth of energy. That is then shattered as your two massive dragon wings extend out as you scream. The suppressant does nothing. And you feel the last 5 days of this sickening hangover that is this serum, this tea. To then see this. You feel that there is something within your wings, something in your back, as your wings become a permanent fixture. You don't feel like they're just someone from the bloodline, but you feel that they have just exploded out of you and granted you. In this high state of emotion, this high state of power bursting through this. Your wings are twice as long. Just as sharp on the tips. Membrane's no longer red with a hint of white. It's fully white.
The calf is kind of gonna bring them, sort of lower them a bit and turn to yours. He lied. He lied about everything. She died of old age. This wasn't how she was killed. She wanted someone to know this. She's gonna sort of run up to the party and like grab Casimir and Amalia's hands. It's like, he killed her. These are all McAffs. Is there like still the sludge?
Yeah, still, while the rest of the chains are broken, the glass is pretty much fogged up or emptied. There is still that one sludge that still remains down there among the shattered glass.
McAff is like going to like go and like reach for it. And like, even though there's like glass and everything, she's just gonna like pick up a bit. I think I don't know if I was born here. I saw something. I saw a memory. It wasn't mine.
What happened here? What did you
Sean.
see?
Kashan was making the perfect Macaf. Crimson didn't live up to his standards. He killed her.
So we didn't all see that. It was just Makath saw that.
The rest of you kind of saw it from a hazed red vision, as if you were underwater.
And she just kind of picks up the slime even more. It took the form of tieflings, of dragonborns.
Well,
What am I?
I've heard of such magics. I've never seen them. But at a guess, I would say you're not Makath's descendant, but Makath herself. Reborn.
She'll look to Casimir. That makes sense. Arifatis thought I was Macaf, thought I was the Macaf. Apparently I felt no different. What do I do? Do I tell Kashan that I know this?
No, that would be quite unwise.
What about the ears? What about my arm?
I think
Gonna
we
kill me too.
I think we should get out of here immediately.
Yes. Yes.
there is no need to confront him just yet. There'll be a better opportunity.
He will come after us. Once he realizes. Okay. But we take Ota. I can't run the risk of her being killed by him.
We'll have to be quick. We don't
Yes.
know if he is already watching.
We leave now.
Let's get out of here.
No. And the calf is going to...
I am going to cast telepathic bond.
Casimir, as you're leaving as well, you see that all the equipment around here that's dusty, a lot of it it's very simple, reminds you of very simple, old, you don't know how it would work, equipment akin to that of what you saw under Castle Nerte, where you rescued Osha, Cyrus. And the rest of the tieflings.
Someone's having a good time.
It's not us.
Shit.
As you head back up the spiral staircase in a rush away from the area, Otak looks and just, that was quick, what happened? Run
We're
down.
going.
We're going?
We're leaving.
We're going.
We need to leave.
If everyone's ready, I'm literally going to teleport us out right now.
Everything... My bags and everything is here.
Every second we stay puts us in further danger.
Let me just check something. You go. We're gonna race up there, and I'll use a teleport.
Yes, there's teleports. There's teleport scrolls in the room.
You need to go.
I think it's better all or none. At this point, it's way too risky to leave you alone now.
I agree. I think it'd be safer in numbers for all of us.
My bag of holding is up there.
Well,
Then let's
let's go.
quickly make our way.
You all run on up. trying to look as inconspicuous as possible, being very aware of your surroundings. Finally get to the dorm, take one last look. After you ascend the stairs in your formal attire of House Crimson. You see your belongings, possessions, and the clothes you've been wearing for the last couple of days down Riverguard.
Grabs everything and she goes to her desk where she keeps a lot of her things, and she just grabs her arm and like her wing and just swoops it all into her bag. Everything she can try and fit in there.
I'll roll you some
She's not really worrying about books or anything, but it's just more her material things.
Yep. Stuff as much as you can until it's full. You know it's about to reach capacity and you stop. You have to head downstairs.
And Amalia will quickly go next to Mika. I have space in my own bag of holding if you need it.
No, I have everything I need.
Alright.
We need to go.
And with that, the spell is cast. Leave the host tower of the arcane.
Going to Riverguard, I'm guessing.
You arrive in the great hall of Riverguard. In comfort, in warmth. And you kind of catch Sandstorm playing solitaire. And he just kind of looks up to you and just... and puts another card down. Just pretends you're not there and just goes back to playing. And that is where we'll end our session.
Oh god, I'm so sorry. I just got so confused.
That's okay. I thought so much like that was going to happen, but there were parts where the lie had to continue until the revelation came. There was a build-up.
I know, but I didn't know.
I didn't want to ruin it for you. Anyway, thank you for being with us here tonight. We will end our session at that, and that was one heck of a start to Dragon's Brew D&D for this year.
Well, great work, Mon, on your
Yeah.
diplomatic skills.
I had like a massive high and now I'm like massive low. I don't think I can get any more lower
Look,
than what I am.
Carl's pretty good at doing those kind of things for you.
I feel bad.
Yeah, but you just,
Do
this is what you,
everything for this boy.
you just,
That's what he does.
I think you get
Yeah.
too far.
you like to throw those kind of things at characters. Don't you, Carl?
I
You
should,
taint them.
I should stop. I should stop.
I
Sandstorm.
appreciate you gave the person who hates horror and hates everything to do with horror the horror backstory.
If it doesn't kill you, yeah.
Don't worry, because that's the only part we're going to have about that. That was it. That was all. Anyway.
Or is it?
No, it's not going to be any more. Anyway.
So he says, dun dun dun.
There'll be more.
Find out next time on Dragon's Brew D&D. I'm Dragon's Cat. Let's go around and we'll just... Yeah, let's start off with...
We didn't even do any character introductions.
Oh, we didn't do any character introductions. Let's do character outros.
Okay.
Let's start with Ikram.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, Dr. Ick.
I don't really know what you want me to say.
Anyway, alright, no worries, we're tired, it's hot. Anyway, it's nearly 11 o'clock. I'm Dragons and Cats. You can find me on Torscore's channel at 3 p.m. 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time and 7 a.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Time. Please do go scroll down to take a look at the generosity link down there for the Australian bushfires. I just want to thank Sunderall so much for their wonderful donation tonight, and also Viridian Knight and Hai Zhao 420 for their subscriptions. Thank you so much. And we will be back next week with no horror and more elaboration into a bit more of the story and a bit more of the plot. So hope then, till then, friends, flows, and familiars, keep